Okay, class. As you know, I've set aside today for conferences. But because I've been so unsuccessful encouraging you to put down your phones and look me in the eye when I'm speaking to you one-on-one, I've decided to try something new today. Please God, let's hope this works. Today I'm going to speak to you as a group. But I'm going to call you out by name and embarrass you with respect to your research papers and your writing. I've tried everything else to get you to submit actual English writing. To spell check, to proofread, to actually do research, to submit your own work as opposed to your older brothers or your older sisters who were actually horrible writers themselves. I've done everything I could possibly do and more to get you to listen, to get you to internalize my instruction. I'm at my wit's end. So today I'm simply going to embarrass you and hopefully mortify you into actually listening to a little bit of what I have to say about sentence construction, about paragraphing, about vetted research, about writing in general. So here goes. I'm going to work in alphabetical order because your works cited pages, and I know you don't know this because I've just finished grading this pile of horrible papers. But your works cited page should be organized in alphabetical order. To stress this point, I'm going to work in alphabetical order based on the first letter of each of your last names. Do you understand? Do any of you even know what alphabetical order is? It's the same as ABC order. Yeah, now you know, Richie. Now you understand alphabetical order. Justin, I will begin with you. No. Playboy magazine is not an academic resource. There are plenty of places to find information about legalizing marijuana apart from an article written by Cheech and Chong in Playboy magazine. For example, the New England Journal of Medicine. Perhaps even Time magazine or Newsweek. Further, High as Hell is not an appropriate academic title for your paper. Call me old-fashioned, but hell word isn't fitting, even for a Deadwood Community College. I'd also like to point out that you should try weed. It might calm you down. Can't really be considered a call to action in the academic definition of that term. As I've instructed every class day for the past 2 months, the research papers we compose in this class are problem-solving papers. A call to action in the conclusion is a necessary component to a problem-solving research paper. However, the problem you seem to be addressing is the fact that I, as your instructor, am not high as hell. Essentially, there's much debate about the importance of that problem on a political level. And no, smoking pot can't be considered primary research. Michael. Do you know what I say when I'm grading my pile of papers and I read your paper? Do you know what I say, Michael? I say, sweet Jesus, let me survive the next hour. And it is an hour, Michael. Sometimes more than an hour. Now, I'm going gray, and this is what happens to English teachers when they are forced by circumstance to grade papers as hideous as yours. They lose it. It takes me an hour or more for me to excavate any possible meaning from the larva you have smeared in the form of printer ink onto these papers. Yeah, at this point in my life, I'd really rather cut off my right arm with a nail clipper than grade one of your papers. And I use the word paper in a most generous way. We sit in a classroom with $1 million worth of computer equipment. I don't know why you can't simply click on spell check. At least at that point I know what language I'm supposed to be reading. Interestingly, your topic was very appropriate. Why college is a waste of money. Certainly a waste of money for you and your parents. But college is not spelled with 2 G's, and waste is not spelled W-A-S-T. I found your thesis fascinating. The only good thing about college is spring break. And I had no idea that roofies were so easily available in Florida. None whatsoever. Your call to action? Get roofies. My call to action? 911. Angie, as you know, I didn't receive a paper from you. In fact, I haven't received a single assignment from you since the semester started. I don't know whether you understand the word submit or not, but I believe you understand what it means to have multiple zeros in your grade report. And yes, I did receive your email wherein you expressed that you have a lot of anxiety about your final grade in this class. I understand anxiety. I have anxiety as well. But you know what might help some of that anxiety? Actually doing some research and actually submitting an assignment. That might actually alleviate some of your anxiety. Do you get that? Do you understand that if you're nervous about your final grade in this class, you can alleviate some of that nervousness by submitting an assignment? Does that make sense to you? Oh. Kaylee, I always know when I'm about to grade one of your assignments. Do you know, before you enrolled in this class, I didn't even know computer paper was manufactured in this particular color pink. And I love the fact that there's always a tiny picture of Kim Kardashian in the corner of all your submissions. I know she's your hero. However, do you know anything about how she became famous? I almost feel like suggesting you do a little research might be helpful to your life goals. But I also fear it might ruin your life. And I don't want to ruin your life, Kaylee. I don't. In fact, my true goal in life would be to get you to use a sentence that actually have verbs in them. That would be one of the greatest accomplishments of my teaching career. Also, your thesis, The Importance of a Plant-Based Diet Except for Filet Mignon, is interesting but inconsistent. You describe cows as beautiful and caring creatures, then describe cutting into a bloody piece of beef. Not sure that works. Oh, Chuck, bow, or whatever. The Second Amendment and gun ownership is perfect for you. I'll tell you why. I read the first paragraph and I certainly wish that I owned a gun. You know, I wish that I owned a big fat 44 semi-automatic handgun to use on myself. Fun fact, the word militia in the Second Amendment doesn't refer to a heavy metal band. True, every sentence in your paper has a headbanging effect on me as your instructor, but militia is similar to a National Guard. And although I do appreciate your link to Militia's band song Suck My AR-15, I don't think that the lyrics support your thesis that if you deserve a gun. Your call to action, white is right, isn't really a call to action at all. It's more of a call to putrefaction. The foul order of rotting? Or maybe a call to prison or a mental facility. You get my drift? And yes, you do scare me. I don't like you. Reading just those 4 papers was like trying to climb a great mountain of my life's poor decisions, covered in razor blades and rubbing alcohol with a bullet lodged into my skull. For now, I'm going to go outside, smoke a few cigarettes, and I'll be back to discuss the rest of the papers in about a half hour. Feel free to keep your headphones on.